The most powerful storm to hit the Caribbean in almost a decade has now slammed into the Bahamas. Hurricane Matthew killed several people in Haiti when strong winds and torrential rains flooded the country. The Category 4 storm wiped out livestock, crops, and homes. Residents of the capital, Port-au-Prince, are trapped in the city. Aid is not able to reach them as the main roads have been blocked by an overflowing river. Floods and power outages are reportedly making it hard for doctors to treat their patients. Haiti had been set to hold a presidential election on Sunday, but it's now been delayed. Tropical storm Matthew strengthened to a hurricane last week when it hit Barbados. It then made its way to Jamaica, Haiti, and Cuba. After passing through the Bahamas, the hurricane is now making its way to the southeastern coast of the United States, where residents have been evacuating homes. Let's go now to Steve Mort, who is live for us in Orlando. What are the forecasts now for where Hurricane Matthew will make landfall in Florida?
Well, the forecast here in Florida are not particularly good. The storm, according to forecasters, continues to make that sort of westerly track. At the moment, we're expecting that it'll come on shore probably as a Category 4 hurricane, which is the second strongest type of hurricane that you can have on that Saffir-Simpson scale, somewhere north of Miami, maybe about 100 miles north of Miami. It's then expected to basically graze the coast, move up the coast all the way to quite near here in Orlando to around Melbourne, the city of Melbourne, and Cape Canaveral, of course, where the Kennedy Space Center is as well, and then all the way up to Jacksonville. There's a very large number of people that live along the Florida coastline. In fact, about 1.5 to 2 million people live in the areas where there are mandatory evacuation orders at the moment. And of course, if people ignore mandatory evacuation orders, then should the hurricane come through and cause them to be cut off, then there will be no rescue. It's now get out now or stay there and ride out the storm. So this doesn't look good at the moment for Florida. A lot of people in the path of this storm.
And what are residents being urged to do to prepare?
Well, you know, residents are basically being urged to evacuate, and those that do stay or move inland, many are actually evacuating here to Orlando, although Orlando itself is expected to start feeling hurricane force winds towards the end of Thursday and into Friday. People are being advised to stock up on the essentials, to have battery-powered radios, to have enough food to last them for 24 to 48 hours, medications, that kind of thing. People should stock up and be ready to be stranded in their homes for some time. If you look at the National Weather Service forecasts, they say that there could be significant structural damage to people's roofs, damage to the rest of their houses, and of course damage to infrastructure as well. We're expecting to be without electricity for some time, and in fact the last time a major hurricane rolled into this state, many people were without electricity and some without water for as long as 3 weeks. So people are being urged to get ready now before this storm arrives.
Florida is somewhat used to storms. How bad is this storm compared to others in the past?
Well, you know, this could be pretty bad. A Category 4 storm is significant. You know, in 2004, a storm came directly over Orlando, where I am now, as a Category 1, and many people here still talk about that. People were left without power, and there was significant damage for many, many weeks. You know, of course, Florida, as you say, is no stranger to these kinds of things, and in 1992, Hurricane Andrew slammed right into Miami as a Category 5 hurricane, devastating large sections of that city. And in fact, many people look at the track of this storm and say it reminds them significantly of Hurricane Andrew, which is not what anybody wants to hear. And then in 2005, Florida became the only state in the United States to suffer the impact of 2 major storms, including Hurricane Wilma, which caused billions of dollars worth of damage here in this state. But the governor of Florida, Rick Scott, said that this could be a record-setting storm, given the number of people in its path, and he's urging them to get prepared.
Steve Mort in Orlando, thank you for that update.